Cow's entire sole is peeling away from her hoof. It's little wonder she's in a huge amount of pain, and that's exactly what's happening to the cow in this video. You're watching the Hoof GP. Okay, so I know this cow is really lame, not because I'm looking at her foot, but because Kevin just told me. Thanks, Kevin. Now that her foot is in there, though, obviously it is extremely obvious why she is so sore. This outer claw is slightly overgrown, so it's taking more pressure than it's designed to do. If we look here at the heel bulb, it's peeling away from the rest of the foot. There's inflammation and likely an infection. So clearly this foot is about the right size. But this one is sticking down around 5mm, and actually it's about 10mm too high if we look from the side like this. Looking at feet like this all day tells me straight away that this point here is probably the point that has caused all of this to delaminate, and this will link up to here. Right, enough talking, on with the job. So as I grab the grinder here, things are slightly different with this foot. Usually we're concentrating on taking height away from the toe area, but actually her toe isn't that far away from being right here. So we're taking more material away from the heel area of this, because as I've just shown you, her heels were almost 10mm too high, but we do need to also shorten these toes. Right, if we look from the side angle, you can now see that these feet are completely level, they're the right length, and everything looks much better. We're going to completely ignore this problem and this problem right now, and start with the modelling of this cow's foot. Even if she does protest. Right. So we're modelling this out to take weight away from the bone that is inside her foot. But as I've just done that, look, you can actually see where the delamination is. There is infection in there, you can clearly see all that kind of scummy pus. Sorry, I'm being quiet because I'm trying to concentrate on getting the edge of the blade of my knife in between these layers and peeling them away. These knives sometimes look like they're not that sharp, but hoof horn is incredibly tough material, and these are like razors. Meaning if you don't position the blade of your knife in exactly the correct position, you can easily cut into live tissue. You need to get the edge in like that and lift away. Oh, see, here's the problem. Earlier on I pointed out that the problem was down here at the toe. And that is exactly what is transpiring. Right, we'll move up here. It's really noisy in here today. I don't know what is up with the cows, but they're all mooing their heads off. Right, get our knife in there. Oh, no. See, some of this is still attached, but it's not perfect layers, you know. Parts are attached. It is so loud in here, isn't it? Parts are attached. Parts are attached, and then parts are not attached. And it's not like it's just big leaves, it's just kind of intermittent. I hate cutting this part here. This is where there's lots of soft tissue. It is dead, but it's soft. And then where it joins at the white line, this axial wall, you go from extremely soft tissue to extremely hard tissue, so you're kind of battling with that issue the whole time. And then here, this is where the white line joins this this is the axial wall. The white line kind of disappears up in there, and where that junction is can be really, really shallow, and that is where you can make mistakes very, very easily. And yes, I make mistakes, same as everybody. I thought as soon as I said that, I would totally just end up making a mistake almost instantly just to prove that point, but I really don't want to, obviously. Get my knife in there, that's still detached. Oh, headbutted the camera there. Right. So right now we've taken the bulk of the material away here, we've exposed this issue down here. This is a toe ulcer, and that has delaminated the entire sole, but there are still little flakes of hoof horn which need to come away. Look, I can put my knife under this piece here, look. So that's not me cutting it, look. And it is completely detached. Just, that illustrates perfectly why these pieces need to come away, because a piece of dirt could obviously just go in there as well. Right, we're going to work our way around this edge here and peel away this flaking hoof horn and hopefully find smooth edges. It absolutely stinks actually, this foot. Sorry love, she can probably hear me saying that, can't she? Up and away, in and up and away. Look, there's another little cavity in there, look. All that juicy stuff needs to come out. I don't mean juicy in a good way either. Okay, right, I'm struggling to do this with a knife now, so I'm actually going to put a nozzle up in between our feet and reduce this with the grinder. So as I grab the grinder here, all I'm doing is reducing this wall horn. It's an extremely tough material, but I need to take my time and be as careful as I possibly can. One false move and I've made a mistake, because that tissue on the other side of the wall horn is exceptionally soft. And now that's complete, tidy up, flatten and smooth off the inner claw, ready for this block to be applied. If you just get a close-up of this, you can really see the detail of this wall ulcer. This is a very sore problem, and because it's on the toe here, any cow really struggles to hide from the pain because they cannot avoid using that part of the foot. Right, all that remains to do is kind of trim round about this ulcer a little bit to get this hard hoof horn of the wall away from it so it's not hurting it out with every step. These edges are sharp round about the ulcer. Just use the hook of my knife to protect the ulcer itself and pull the hoof horn away from it. You can actually see this goes up into the wall horn. Basically any problem, just like the rest of us in life, looks for the easiest route, and the easiest route unfortunately is up through the white line, which is why we get so many problems in there. It's a junction between the wall horn and the interior of the foot, or the sole of the foot in this case, and that junction is a weak point. Okay. So I've reduced this wall horn a little bit to take those hard edges away from it, and you can see the ulcer clearly sticking up. Wait a minute. Sticking up. So wrapping this with iodine is pretty much what you used to do in the wars. It shrinks up the deteriorating tissue, helps to protect it from the outside elements, and forms a barrier from the outside elements. Right. That's us, pretty much done.